What's going on? Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to carry on what we did in the last videos, COMPTIA Pentest Plus preparation using TryHackMe rules. Okay, in this video, we're going to do Hydra, explain the basic use of Hydra, and specifically, we're going to brute force SSH, FTP, and a login form. And don't forget that everything I upload under CompTIA Pentest Plus preparation is part of TryHackMe walkthroughs. Okay, so right now we have done Nmap, Perp Suite, Metasploit. I'm going to do Hydra now. In the next video, we're going to do Nessus and carry on. So right now, Hydra. Let's get started. So basically, we have a target. We're going to see what this target is running. Services using Nmap, and then we're going to try to brute force them. So basically, first we type sudo nmap -sv we don't need to use the switch A since we don't want to. We don't want to go aggressive on the target. We just want to know what are the services that we can brute force. Okay, so it's enough to type -sv, and we type the IP address. Paste. While this is running, let me split the window two halves. All right, here's one. Okay, so here Hydra can be started by typing Hydra. Okay, and we see here all of the available switches we can see, right? So for example, we can use -l for login. As you can see, you can specify a login name, username. Here we have -p. Of course, we have to distinguish between the lowercase and uppercase ones. Uppercase means a login file, contains usernames. -l small means single username. -p lowercase, single password. -p uppercase, a password file. And here, colon separated if you want to type them in this form. -m, -t. All right, so basically these are the switches, and here's an example. So the Nmap scan has finished, and as you can see, we have 22 and 80. I can't see 21. 21 is not open. Okay, so it seems like we don't have FTP server running. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to brute force the password for SSH server, and we're going to brute force the login form in the web page. Let me clear the menu here, and we clear here. So we start two instances. First thing first, we start the browser and see what kind of login form we have. All right, so get the IP address. Right, so if you have a login form like that and you want to know the username and password, so with Hydra, we want to first to pin down the variables of the login form. The most important variable is the GET request, the HTTP request. Is it GET or is it POST? So we can just inspect and see the variables. So here we can locate password input. So here's the form, right? Now, as you can see, the first variable we have to take note of is /login. Okay, that's the first one, the action. What is the value of the action variable? It is /login. Now, what's the value of the, as you can see, we have the username. The username is denoted by username. Of course, the password is denoted by password, right? So name, password, name, username. And the submit button, very important. And that's it. Now, before doing that, we're gonna need to intercept the request, and I like to use Perp Suite for that. Okay, so we go to proxy, make sure the intercept is on, go back to browser, and hit the settings. advanced, and we tick use manually specified proxy configuration, apply, okay. Right, so first we got to know what is the HTTP request made in the login form. Is it post or is it get? Test. So it is post request, okay? The action variable is /login, and we have username and password, okay? Now we have what we need to start brute forcing the username and password. So let's keep, or let's forward this forward. And now I'm gonna go back. Of course, here I'm gonna go to Purpose Suite, Options, and enable the AND rule. Right, and here go to intercept. I want to add this to my target scope. Yes. So this is my target scope. Everything other than that will not be intercepted. So we go to proxy. Yes, right. Let's go back. And in here, we're going to craft the command to brute force the login form. The first thing we type all the time, we need first the user list and the password list. For the password list, I'm going to use rockq.txt. And for the username is given by TryHackMe. It is Molly. All right. Okay. So here, let me expand this, or yeah. So sudo Hydra. Since we have a single username, we're going to use lowercase l. Username is Molly, given. And then we're going to use a password list. For the password list, we're going to specify uppercase P. The location of the password list, user share word list rock.txt. And then we specify the IP address. All right. And the next thing, you remember when I told you about the HTTP request? Here we specify the type of HTTP request. In our case, it is post request. So we type HTTP post form. In case it was get, I will replace post with get. Here we come to the rest of the variables in the login form. So basically, the login form lies, right, or exists in the page /login. And you can see it here in the action /login. So I'll define here the page, the location of the page /login and semicolon. And now we start defining the username and password variables. So basically, first we're going to have to type this and type user, right? And of course, here we forgot something to define the username. Username equal user. And then we define the password. So basically type here and password. These variables, username and password, are taken from the form. These ones from Hydra, okay? So we take this and we type pass. Okay. Now we will define what will happen, right, in case the login failed. So for example, if I go back, click X. So let me turn on Purpose Suite again. Intercept on, yes, test. So we're gonna send this or intercept the response. Forward. Okay, so we can see here, let's intercept this as well. All right, forward. Go back. Your username and password is incorrect. That's the statement we get when the login is failed. So we take this and we specify to the login form or to Hydra that this is the phrase which will pop up, okay, if the login failed. So what do we do here? We type F in case it failed, and I type the statement. Now, what do we need to do else? Of course, we need to close this with the double quotes, and we type -v for verbosity, and we enter. Right now, Hydra will try to find the password of Molly. As you can see, a successful login has been detected. Molly Sue Sunshine. Let's try this. So here we type Molly Sunshine. And the login is successful. This is the flag. Right. Now let's try with the SSH. How about this? So we take this one like that. Or yeah, keep it like that so you can see the password to track your progress if you are following up. Okay, so now for the SSH. How do we crack SSH password? So we type sudo, of course, Hydra. Now, we have username, given username, -l, Molly, and we have a password list, -P, user, share, word lists, rockview.txt. Okay, next we define the IP address. The IP address of our target. In this case, it is this one, and we type the protocol, right? So in this case, it is SSH, and we hit enter. Now, how about if I want to target FTP? Of course, in the scenario we don't have FTP running on the target. That's why we're not going to be able to run FTP brute force. But I'm going to specify the commands used to brute force various protocols. So, for example, if I want to brute force FTP, I type sudo. Let me copy the command, this one. So, in this case, instead of SSH, I type FTP. Right? This is in case I want to brute force FTP. And Hydra is used to test and brute force various protocols. For example, instead of FTP, I can type, what else we have? SMP. Although for SMP, we have a crack map exec. It's better than Hydra. But if you want to use Hydra, you can use this. So we can also use SMTP servers. What other protocols? We can also brute force telnet, right? So that's the formula. Of course, there is another syntax, which is SSH, for example, and the IP address. This also works. So you define the protocol, and here the IP address. Let's see the results. So here we have couldn't connect to SSH. The IP is wrong, I guess. We have defined a wrong IP address. So we're going to replace the IP here, or we're going to do that. So SSH, and we paste, enter. Let's see if we get something. Oh, so we have one Molly and butterfly. So it's very simple tool, and this is going to be, I told you, it's going to be a short video. So very simple, straightforward tool to crack passwords for various protocols. And the most important is you know how to use that when you want to test web forms or login forms, right? Know the request type, get or post, determine the variables of the login form, craft your command, and pawn the user. So let's now move on to Hydra to TryHackMe and see the answers. So what's asking here? Use Hydra to brute force Molly's web password. What's the flag one? Let's get back and see here we have the flag one. I don't think it's wrong, so just for demonstration, submit. Okay. Use Hydra to brute force Molly's SSH password. So we have brute force SSH as well, and the password is butterfly. Submit. Oh, wrong. Flag 2. So I think we need to log in. So we have got to log into the SSH server. So we log in. Sudo SSH Mali at, let's get the IP. And of course, type yes. Now type butter flag. The flag ls cat flag 2.txt. Okay. Of course, you can watch the official walkthrough of TryHackMe, but this is my walkthrough of this. If I want to talk about the alternative of Hydra, so what is an alternative for Hydra, for example? We have crackmap exec. You can use crackmap exec for brute forcing SMB, WinRM, RDP, of course. But Hydra is a more flexible way, more flexible tool to use against various protocols: SSH, FTP, SMTP, Telnet, HTTP, login forms. It is a very flexible and straightforward tool. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next video.